Your daughter needs to hear you say that you love her. Because if you don't, someone who doesn't mean it will, and she will believe him. That's what happens when fathers aren't present in their daughters' lives. She could be 3, she could be 5, she could be 35. I really do not mix current politics and political affairs in my sessions. However, I can't help but begin today's session with an example from a man who could truly be categorized as a ruthless human with a lot of power. Kim Jong-un, the president of North Korea. Just this week, I was following the stories of how he has publicly displayed gestures of affection and love to his 9-year-old daughter, and possibly, by his own admission, the heir to his power. If you don't already know, then Kim Jong-un has no sympathy, no patience, and is an enforcer of forced loyalty and love. Every home and every office in North Korea must have a frame and a photo of their president in the lobby. And he believes in capital punishment for even the simplest things, such as specks of dirt on his photo at your office or your residence. You could receive the death penalty for that. This same man was displaying affection publicly towards his daughter for all the world to see. This is the power of a daughter. A father needs his daughter as much as a daughter needs her father. Absence of a father has effects on both people. This is a unique relationship in which dynamics remain complicated because both father and daughter will suffer from attachment disorders, which is commonly known as daddy issues for females who've had troubled or absent or deceased fathers. And a man who cannot raise his daughter will have daughter issues. This will lead him to constantly look for much younger women to be in relationships with because his innate and subconscious desires are to really take care, nurture, and raise a delicate being. These may seem twisted, but these conditions are true, and so the trauma works both ways when it comes to a father-daughter relationship. It doesn't matter your culture, it doesn't matter your religion or your views on parenting. A daughter will always remain the most prized possession a father can ever have. Men are just built that way. Look at Shaq O'Neal or other celebrities. Their sacrifices for their daughters is much further stretched than it is for their sons. Theoretically speaking, we can all enjoy our iPhones today because Steve Jobs' daughter wanted a Walkman that could play 1,000 songs. There are so many inspirational facts of how fathers have changed the world for their daughters or used their daughters as inspiration. Mercedes, the car, is the name of Mr. Ben's daughter, who created the Mercedes and honored it with his daughter's name. While all these are pleasant stories, the thought process behind each tells us that what a father will do for his daughter will never happen in any other relationship. And in return, what a daughter goes through without a father is no secret. Okay? When a girl is raised by male guardians or a mother, it's very different from being raised by a present father. There will be feelings of resentment, of self-doubt, of loneliness, and self-sympathy. These all create a painful and empty feeling in the chest that must be filled immediately. These issues can also be caused when a girl has been orphaned. These negative traits of self-doubt and self-sympathy will develop. So imagine, if you may, the girl whose father is alive but not in contact. These traumas are multiplied compared to the one of the orphaned girl. Generally, women or girls cannot sit with these feelings for too long compared to men or boys. There is a whole science behind this. It involves understanding the biological traits that create relational hierarchies for each separate issue between the human species. So what happens when your daughter starts receiving these feelings of emptiness? Then these voids must be filled up. And usually, it's at these moments that the wrong person shows up because your daughter is making all the wrong choices at the moment. So think about all this. If you are a mom and you think you have everything under control, and if you are a dad, then think about all this if you feel your presence is not required or welcomed in your daughter's life. Put aside the ego. Set aside the people who are standing in the way. Be a beast that you were born to be and be a father and take that responsibility and start showing up at your daughter's doorstep. Okay? You don't have much time, so get moving. Your daughter needs to hear the words, I love you, a lot. She needs to hear it from her father, who for her is a strong man. This teaches her to have high expectations for love, high expectations for respect, high expectations for honesty. This creates a strong woman in the right way. And if you aren't there to establish this, then they will learn the opposite from someone who is more concerned about their own benefits. I'd like you to sit with this for a while. Okay? Who would you trust your daughter with to learn to shoot a gun? Sit with that. When a father is absent for a daughter's life, the attachment disorder would lead your daughter to look for friendships and relationships which will allow her to stay connected to the atmosphere which makes her comfortable. And that would be to look for people who aren't completely available or even avoidant. This recreates the stories and feelings she has gotten familiar with and comfortable with over time. A father can handle and manage multiple situations simultaneously, which means that even if the man has another family, you can still very much be the power influence that she needs growing up. This is something that cannot come from the mother completely, okay? And let me explain to you why. Biology proves that girls with present fathers have delayed puberty, which is a good thing. Psychology proves that girls with a present father have more self-worth and confidence. Educators prove that girls with present fathers excel much more in education and in career. And when it comes to spirituality, statistics proves that 38% of adults continue going to church if they were taken to church only by their father and the mother wasn't participating. Astonishingly, only 3% of adults attend church if they were taken to church by their mothers and their father wasn't participating. These are statistics, not emotional or parental or moral discussions. These are the stats, and stats do not lie. A father's impact on a daughter's life is the single most differentiating factor of a woman's success or failure in the future, be it with her career or relationships or finances or health. If you are not participating in your daughter's life, now you have enough reason to do so. And if you are being forcefully kept away from your daughter, then do whatever it takes, but get reconnected. Your daughter is waiting for you. Okay? Be safe, be positive, be protective over your family and your children, and never, ever give up on being a good person.